I gotta take this off. I can barely hear y'all.
I was hoping. I was gonna see how committed you were to the bit.
I was gonna try to wear it the whole time, but I can barely hear y'all. What's up, internet world? We're the News 19 Nerds. I'm Leroy.
I'm Lauren.
I'm Michael. What's with the hat, man?
Whoa! First of all,
It's a helmet.
thank you.
I mean, it's a toy.
It's real to him.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
real to me too, because he bought me one too.
Okay, all right.
I was just trying to play like I didn't get one.
Yeah.
But yeah. You look nice, man. You got your full Star Wars on. Yeah.
Does that come down? That comes down?
Yeah,
Okay.
you're just like Poe.
All right.
Yeah, you haven't put batteries in it though yet, right?
Wait. Hold on.
I don't know where that thing, where the on
button's
button
on what?
is.
I think it's on this
Is it
side.
back here?
There's a
Is
red.
this
There we go.
Sound effects for y'all.
Yeah, it's loud in here.
Okay, because like it's not that loud here.
Yeah,
It's
we can't hear any of that.
I guess we got some of it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, turn it off for him so he don't go deaf.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Great. All right, so we're talking about Mandalorian episode 5.
Oh, we are? Thought we talked about Rise of Skywalker.
I don't have anything to say
Nah,
about
I
that
don't have nothing to say about that.
Oh.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What, December 25th? When does that come out?
Whoa.
No, 20th.
20th?
Yeah.
I mean, they probably could have released it on Christmas.
I would have went on Christmas Day.
They're bold
Well,
enough
no,
to do
I
it.
wouldn't have went because I'm working here
Yeah.
on Christmas Day. Anyways.
I'd have called out.
Mandalorian episode 5, The Gunslinger.
Yeah. Which, I don't know if I need, that title really,
You don't feel like it fits?
I don't know if it fit. Who was slinging the gun? I mean, who was the gunslinger in this case?
I mean, I feel like they're trying to say the person you met,
Okay.
but also maybe some actions that Mando might have done
Okay.
at the end, maybe?
Yeah, when I saw the title, I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like,
Yeah.
But,
What do we think of this episode?
I think it's going along with the,
What?
You with this hat, helmet. I keep thinking hat, but helmet. Go ahead.
I think it's going along with the storyline of, we see, another person pop up and this person, each episode we get a new character. So it definitely continued that trend. I need more.
You need to be longer.
I need it to be long. I don't know if I need it to be, I need it to be longer. Yes. I know we said something about it needed to be longer, but yeah, I need it to be longer and I need more from Yobi. I really do.
Really?
I really do.
You got enough.
Him showing us the Force in the second episode and then we don't get no more? Like, what?
So Jon Favreau has gone on record and said we're going to learn about his backstory in this season.
Ooh.
So I don't know. We don't know exactly how in depth that'll be.
So they got to give us, I guess, next episode then. Because then you need 2 more episodes to sum this thing up. And that's going to be 8.
Yeah, maybe.
That's your thought process?
That's my thought process.
I don't even think, you're not going to get 2.
You're not going to get 2 what? What do you mean?
2 episodes of his.
No, I mean 1 episode of his backstory, which would be the 6th. And then 7, 8 to tie in the end.
I don't even think you get that. I think you're going to get a little bit, and then Giancarlo Esposito shows up.
I wonder, people kept saying, oh, he's going to be the overall big bad of this series. Is he? Because it almost seems like these guest people are one and done. For the most
True,
part.
they are, but we know that we know that he is. We know he's a bad guy. We know he shows up in force because we saw him in the trailer.
Yeah.
And I went back and so this is the thing that I watched. So every time the episode comes out, I watch the trailer.
To see what parts were from it.
Mm-hmm. If you go back and listen to Werner Herzog, that's not his whole speech. We haven't heard all those lines. That moment where he says they're outside, we haven't heard that yet.
Do we know? Is it a case of Marvel where they
Yeah,
make a trailer that you not get everything? But what I'm saying is, maybe we don't even get that.
I don't think that. I think what happened is they have edited the things he has said from different episodes that he's in, and that they have combined them to give us that speech. Because if you remember, we still haven't seen some of those scenes yet.
Right.
So the fight with the stormtroopers, those were dirty stormtroopers he was fighting.
Yeah.
The ones in the trailer, those are clean stormtroopers. So, and if you see the Giancarlo Esposito when he shows up, those are clean. So I'm wondering, is he going to show up with those guys?
I don't know.
Like, fresh and so clean. And they're going to be like, oh, you the dude causing problems.
What do we think? Sorry, go ahead.
That's what I think is going to happen towards the end of this season. Like, he's on the run. And that's what we keep noticing. He's on the run. He's trying to find a place where he can hole up or trying to get his bearings. Because the guild is, I think it's two things. The guild is all he's ever known, and the Mandalorian culture.
Yeah.
And right now, his coven is destroyed, and he can't work for the guild. He can't do anything with the guild. He's on the run from the guild. So he's looking for places to hide and lay low and get his bearings. And that's what we're seeing right now. And I think there's something's going to happen to make him either have to go back or make him stand and fight, where he's like, all right. And that's what all this is leading up to.
What do we think of the choice to do these one and done episodes?
They remind me of the 80s and the 90s.
Okay.
Like if you remember going back and watching Xena and like all those TV shows.
You have your hero
villain.
going in and saving the people. And
Knight Rider.
I mean, you have some people. You have some
18.
villains that are consistent throughout. Like I remember, like I don't know, I'm just gonna throw out Powerpuff Girls. They had Mojo Jojo was one of the villains.
Mojo Jojo.
He was one of the villains. But you also, there were different villains every
Mojo Jojo.
Yeah,
but
Monster
then
of the Week type thing.
Yeah, but he popped
I
out.
love when he used to say that.
Does it feel disjointed because like the first 3 episodes were kind of like an arc, right? It kind of focused on what was happening with Werner Herzog and Yobi, and those 3 kind of tied together.
To me, I disagree. To me, it's called The Mandalorian for a reason. We're watching this one man struggle at a certain part of his life doing something he's always done, and now that the thing that made him good is also the thing that is getting him hunted. Because if he'd have just done what he was supposed to do, let the kid go, he wouldn't be in any of this mess. But now he's on the run from all the people who already don't like him. Because what happens when you're the number one? People hate you. Ask LeBron.
Him and this number 1 thing.
Yeah.
He is not great at his job.
Who?
The Mandalorian.
He is.
He's not.
He's not. I don't think he is that great at
disagree.
his job. I really don't.
I
my thing is, and I was going to ask y'all about this from the last review or last review of the episode. If there's a tracker, right? Why have y'all not cut the tracker out? Is it part of your DNA that they take? Like what is this?
I don't know.
I'm wondering
because that's the first thing I would do.
I'm wondering if it's a story beat that we're gonna get or something. But it does seem like, hey, Mando, you need to figure out where this tracker is because they are always finding you.
Okay, and are they hunting you or are they hunting you? Like who are they?
Now this is a funny thing. You're right that they're always finding him, but in this episode,
he found somebody else.
Nobody found him.
Yeah, nobody found him.
So I agree. So I'm wondering.
That's just we haven't seen that person who was supposed to be tracked. But I mean, when you had a whole room of everybody's,
But this is what I'm wondering.
Lighting
Does
up.
the tracker only work because Werner Herzog said, "I'm going to give you the last known"? Does the tracker only work within a certain?
Maybe.
So in other words,
like in a video game when you're being hunted and your last known location, that's where they go, and you kind of go off somewhere else or whatever. Yeah.
Kind of like in Death Stranding.
I knew you were gonna say that. You can name any other game. You can name a Metal Gear game, but sure, Death Stranding, yes.
With Death Stranding. But no, that's what I was wondering that because if you go back and look at Sanctuary, they were there for weeks and nothing. So we're to understand that after the battle with the Raiders or whoever they were, that story got out because he mentions that story is going to get out. This is not going to be safe for us. And someone did come looking because who takes on a giant walker and survives? And so, of course, if you're looking for the number 1 bounty hunter, the most bad of bads, you're going to go and look. And then when you get on the planet, you're like, oh, it goes off. So that's what I'm wondering.
Either way, they gotta get that out.
Does the tracker work to only up to a certain feet? So, or up to a certain distance. And if I'm looking for someone and they're not in any of the known places, then you have to go to the unknown places.
Yeah.
And
the known unknowns.
And I also wonder, and this is more like, I guess, set design. These trackers look like garbage,
They
right?
do.
And I get it.
Super
I get
cheap.
it. If they look cheap because that is part of the aesthetic of Star Wars back in the
Which
day.
I
This
never
stuff kinda looked like-
understood how you can have like a galaxy far, far away that
Because
is
it's a
just
long time
raggedy
ago.
as heck.
But see,
It's not like a clean sci-fi, right?
but see, that's why I disagree with that take. To me, Star Wars feels lived in. If you look at the original 3 movies and Rogue One, so to speak, Star Wars looks lived in. It looks like these people, and we've always seen the outer rim, like the people on the run. So you're not going to get Beverly Hills.
Right.
But when we saw the prequels, when you saw everything was nice and there was no war and you know, the economy was going. It's like when the economy's good now, you get, you know, nice video game systems, nice, you know, you get all these new amenities. When the economy's crap, everybody hoards up and you start saving stuff, you start thrift store shopping.
Yeah.
And I think that's what Star Wars is. A lot of the places we've seen ain't really been nice places.
Right.
I mean, we went, spoiler alert, I mean, we're getting into the episode. They went to Mos Eisley.
So we're doing spoilers now? Didn't think we were doing that yet. We are?
I guess
we are. Okay, cool. Great.
But I guess what I'm saying is, they're not going to nice places.
Right.
They're not going to Tahiti. They're
Right.
not going to the Bali of
Right.
Star Wars. They're going to, and it goes to show you the juxtaposition of The Last Jedi when you saw the 1% and how they lived versus to where Luke Skywalker came from. He came from a dust ball planet.
Right.
So everything there is going to be dust ballish.
Right.
And the bounty hunters aren't exactly, you know, they're going to get the nicest equipment. They're scum.
Right.
The villainy, the scourge of the universe. Isn't that what he said? And then,
The scum and villainy.
Yeah.
and remember in Empire Strikes Back, what did when Vader had all the bounty hunters up there, and what did the Imperials say? So if you remember in Empire
Yo,
Strikes
trash!
Back, if you remember when Vader brought in all the bounty hunters to hunt them down, or to hunt down Luke, Leia, and Han, the Imperials are like, why do we need this scum? They're not looked on as like, you know, hey,
Yeah.
let me call Mando up real quick. No. And if you remember, his armor in the beginning was trash.
It looked trash.
Yeah.
I mean, he shined up a little bit, but in his armor, spoiler alert, works.
Blew his whole paycheck on the armor.
Yeah.
So
I gotta take this off. I can barely hear y'all.
I was hoping I was gonna see how committed you were to the bit.
I was gonna try to wear it the
Yeah.
whole time, but I could barely hear y'all. And I know I was loud.
Yeah, I was like, he was louder than normal. He's loud but not angry. It's weird.
When you
don't
put
usually
this
get
on,
ultimately right.
everything is insulated. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I think I could wear this. You know when you go to movie theaters and sometimes the movie theater's too loud?
Yeah.
Take this.
So we're on Tatooine, right?
It seems that way.
No, we are.
I know. It's just
mean,
it's like
Yeah, we're definitely Tatooine.
Yeah.
My question is, did you like that?
This was a big fan thing. That like you ever watch a movie and you're like, oh, that's to the fans.
Right.
That's what this was. This was a throwback.
head nod.
Yeah.
And the person that wrote and directed this was Dave Filoni, who has major ties to Star Wars,
Clone Wars,
and Rebels.
He is a huge sense of why, if you go back and look, a lot of this show and some of the video games, you're starting to see this nod to those people who watched Rebels, who watched Clone Wars.
Right.
You saw the battle droid that basically wiped out all of Mando's people.
Right.
You're seeing a lot of those little Easter eggs.
Now, how did he know that he needed to go? That this planet was okay to land? I mean, I know that it was the battle sequence.
What I got
was
from
like,
it was the closest one around.
Yeah.
I don't think he was specifically going to Tatooine. It just happened to be Tatooine's here.
Kind of like Han in Cloud City.
Yeah. But are you guys okay with the fan service stuff? Because when I had really liked this show because they were staying away from everything Skywalker for the most part. It was just people you don't normally see. And coming to Tatooine, I'm like, I wanted a different planet, something I hadn't seen before, personally.
I feel like it's okay to. I feel like you have to cater to the audience that is diehard, knows everything about the whole Star Wars franchise, and then this also caters to. I think Mandalorian caters to people who aren't very familiar with everything Star Wars. They understand the concept of Star Wars, but it's not, in their blood. And so watching The Mandalorian, you can still understand the story and understand, okay, because they feed you a little bit more each episode. But I think it's okay to give, like an Easter egg or a head nod to the fans who have been riding with this for
I'm with Lauren.
decades.
I feel like they kind of. I don't think they should, or should have to, but I know they probably feel like they have to
Yeah.
after the last couple of things that have come out and fans have been like, "Rah, we hate this." I think it's a really kind of like Lauren put it perfectly. It's a head nod to those fans who are like, that's the thing that I know from the movie that I love, and it's for them. And for those people who like us who don't really need that Skywalker tie-in, it's nice, it was cool, but I was more interested in the speeder bikes and
And I didn't think about the planet until y'all said the name, and I was like, oh, okay, because I'm like, okay, here go another dusty planet for Star Wars that we on. Yeah. Everybody always on these dusty planets.
What'd you guys think of Han Solo Light?
I thought of him as Dash Rendar.
Really? Because he sat in the same spot as Han Solo, in the same table with his feet up.
He did.
I was like, that's Han Solo. Or at least they were trying to evoke.
I guess to me, I always look at it and say, like, it was, but I always felt like Dash Rendar was kind of like the Han Solo light that they were trying to go for. And I always feel like no one can do Han.
Right.
And this was like...
And then to come find out you're not even experienced.
This was great value Han.
It was.
It's like, because he was like all so sure. Then when Mando was like, all right, I'm out. He was like, no, I'll give you all the money. And I was like...
I really have no experience. I'm just trying to get in the guild.
I was like, you a punk.
What?
So I was like,
get out of here, man.
That's why I was like, no, I didn't get that Han. Because I was like, Han was...
I'm not saying that he...
sure himself.
Right, I'm not saying that he was Han. I'm just saying...
I think he tried to...
Yeah.
I feel like they set him up to not be Han, but...
To give you that impression.
Right, just because he sat where Han... Well, actually, Han sat the other side, didn't he? No. Han sat over there. And Han had his feet up.
I felt like Han is a rapper. Han Solo, his mannerisms is a rapper. Han walks in and is like, I'm the best. I don't care what you think. Han should have his own album with Chewie in the background with
I can't make the
with
noise.
the Millennium Falcon with cars and girls.
I'm not gonna try to make the noise and be disrespectful.
But this kid, whoever this kid was, this punk, he just oozed ineptitude. Like, I just was like,
did you guys see the betrayal coming?
Yeah.
That seemed obvious, right?
Because he had no code.
Right.
Absolutely
he had no code because he hadn't established himself, and he hadn't done anything. So he was going to do whatever it took to get in the guild, and he wasn't going to go about it. And we already saw he wasn't going to go about it because he was willing to hold on. And whenever you got somebody like that, they'll do anything.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Amy Sedaris and everything that she does.
I did not realize that was her.
Oh, really?
Until after the episode.
Oh, I was like,
I was like, yo, when the credits rolled, it was like,
yeah, I did not know that was her either.
That was Amy. Like the characters that she creates.
I think she's very good at diving into characters.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget it's her.
I didn't like her in this.
I loved her in this
because I thought her comedy was different. It seemed more a slapsticky comedy.
Yeah,
in this.
I was all for it.
And
really,
I liked her at the end, but at the very beginning when you first met her, like I feel like that she's in a different show than the rest of the Mandalorian.
I liked
personally.
I liked her.
I wasn't really a fan, but I understand her purpose.
I like Amy Sedaris. I really do. But whenever she creates characters,
Strangers with Candy, y'all go watch that show.
Whenever she creates a character, there are times I'm watching and I'm like, is this the same woman?
Yeah, she can dive into stuff.
Yeah.
She's
really been in 30 Rock. She's been in
not
30 Rock. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt.
Wow, Katie watches that. She loves that show.
The big one for me was Strangers with Candy, and I want to say she's probably a Second City person.
Oh yeah, Elf. I forgot about Elf.
Dude, the thing is, when she creates so many unique. I forget that that's her. And like some people, you ever watch it like Saturday Night Live? You ever watch people and you're like, oh, that's Kenan Thompson. Everybody gets something.
Right.
Like you, Kristen Chenoweth. Kind of has a little bit of that sometimes where she can create somebody and you can forget that's Kristen Chenoweth. And so there are certain people who you're like, you're a real person and you created this character. I'm on board with Amy Sedaris. Like I was like, this is something new we hadn't seen before in Star Wars. So I was all for it. So that I was the outlier.
You might not be the outlier. People might have liked her. It's just at the beginning of her character kind of reminded me of the prequels in terms of being too cheesy. I didn't like that, and also with the droids, kind of whatever.
And is she like? I mean, he popped up at her. Clearly, she works on ships and has the ability to do that. But are they always that? Just yeah, sure. Just let me know what you need. Because
I don't know.
I mean, mechanics.
nah, bro, like you can't just be coming in here and.
Well, a lot of mechanics were like, they take the money.
Yeah.
You got the money. Drop your car.
I don't know.
Especially my mechanic, boy. Let me take that back. My mechanic sometimes would be like, "Hey, man, it's gonna take a week."
Yeah, like dropping stuff off.
Dude, it's like,
well, I'll let you know when it's done.
because the thing is, they rarely ever turn down jobs.
Yeah.
And that's how I look at it.
That's
like,
why you're always seeing with a bunch of scrap everywhere
Yep.
because they're working on multiple jobs at once. So.
All right, I'll give her. Okay,
and
I'll
again,
give her that.
it goes back to that whole lived-in, like your shade tree mechanic.
Mm-hmm.
These places that they end up going to, when you go to your mechanic, my mechanic always has stuff all around. Because I don't ever go to,
The dealership.
yeah,
Right.
because the dealership overcharges you.
Man,
for
they'll
stuff.
come back out and be like, yeah, I know you came in for an oil change, but we saw that the
need to get the
blah blah
rotation
blah
number.
blah blah is broken. I'm like, what the heck is that?
Son.
It's very crucial. You
Son.
need this. It's gonna cost you $300 to fix.
Son, my wife, okay, quick story. So Katie took her car to get an oil change one day. And she was like, just get the oil change. She was like, okay. Came back, text me. She's like, yeah, they changed the oil filter. I said, damn it. I said, I told you just to get the oil change. She was like, but the air filter. I said, I can do that. I was going to do that. I said, how much it cost? $30. I was like, air filter's $5. So it's like, it's
They
just a
overcharge
pop
everything.
out. And that's kind of
It's gonna help with your gas mileage. Really? Because I got the same gas mileage, Toyota. The same.
Friend of the show, Toyota. Come on.
Ah,
we have issues with dealerships. Now I will say this. In support of dealerships, when I have something major that's wrong,
yeah,
like
man,
transmission,
yeah.
Oh yeah.
But this little
what
stuff.
you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that little stuff they be trying to get you. But I will say, when they finish with your car, it's clean.
Yeah.
They do.
They don't even do the car washes anymore.
Oh, they
Anyways,
don't?
no,
Oh,
man,
My
nah.
dealership does.
Yeah, mine does.
Man, nah.
You buy
Where are
American.
you going? Because I got a Toyota.
I don't even want to say that
Okay,
because
fair enough.
Buy American. Ford.
they may or may not have a commercial with WOTX. Anyways, well, how y'all feel about Ming-Na Wen?
Underused.
Very
I
underused.
love Ming-Na Wen.
And I'm just
Everything
like,
she does.
but it
Hey, this is
alluded
Shield
to
for life.
it alluded to her possibly being another episode at the
Yeah,
end.
at the end, hopefully she's not dead.
Yeah.
But I was like, I just want more of her. Just because I like, kind of how you felt about Gina Carano, that's how I feel about Ming-Na Wen.
Okay.
I just want to see her all the time.
So this is my thing. I wonder, is this going back to the whole thing of what you were saying? Each person just shows up and is like, I want to be a part of Star Wars. I get one episode. Oh, I'm good. I'm out.
Yeah.
In other words, does it help? Nope. That they only are on one episode because it helps them if they're doing something else. They can come in and shoot, have one day of shooting, and they're done. They're gone.
I kind of wish if they did that, then maybe make the episodes longer. Maybe give me like a trade-off. Okay, I only get one episode, but I get to see them longer on screen because it's a longer episode. Like
Because
these
we didn't see her
30-minute
till like the
episodes
end of the episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, I would really like to know whether or not I would like more of the backstory for some of these characters. I'm like, or at least if they get one episode, at least give that character more meat as far as like in other episodes, like.
And I mean, Mando tried to explain like she's, the
She's
baddest of
the
them all
baddest,
and
yeah.
everything, but it always gets lost to me. That little nugget that they try to give about the person that they're going after, the person that they just met or something like that, it gets lost to me as I'm watching this show. And I swear, I've been doing better about not holding my phone and whatever. I'm like engaged in the show.
I guess what I'm saying is, why does that? Because to me, it would be the opposite for what you said. Because one of the things I think that works for this show is that you don't have to be all in as far as like a Watchman or a Westworld.
But it's like make me care a little bit more than what
But
this little nugget that you gave.
I guess that's where I think this show is doing better than a lot of shows because it's doing that, because it's shorter, it's a bite size, and we got to remember too something that we have to remember. We are older. We're used to a highly dense show. We're used to Breaking Bad, the Westworlds. Star Wars is for everybody. So there are 8-year-olds watching this. So I kind of get. That's why I said, why is it for you that it fails to hold your attention? But I kind of feel like this is kind of what they're going for, that it's easier to digest a 30-minute Star Wars episode. And then
Kids with ADD, you watch it, it's over.
Well, not just kids with ADD, people with ADD. Yeah. Lauren said before, you got to hold your attention. And some of these shows that are so dense, she's like, whoa. But I felt like this would...
but Westworld would never be okay with me. I enjoy watching Westworld, but I will always fall asleep.
But that's what I think of. So when you said that, I was like, this one should have been easier for you to be like, okay, it's 30 minutes, I'm in, I'm out.
They gave me one line about her.
Okay. That's what I was just wondering about that.
One line, dog.
We got to see her fight a little bit, which was cool. Mm-hmm. But I just wanted more.
I saw her, and I have to agree with you. She was underutilized. And so hopefully this sets up a whole...
Maybe she'll be in season 2.
Well, not just season 2. Hopefully her character, A, is not dead. And B, for those who have watched the whole episode, was that another Mandalorian at the end? Or was that...
Because they cut before you saw the face.
Or was that Bill Burr? Because we know Bill Burr's in here, and we know... So, again, who is that person? Mm-hmm. Who... I will say this. This episode for me was a little weak, but that ending really had me like...
What could it be?
It really kind of brought me back. So, to me, this was the weaker of all the episodes.
Is 4 still your favorite?
Oh, 2 and 4.
2 and 4. Okay.
No, 3 and 4. 3 and 4.
Okay. Mine.
2 is still my favorite.
Which one is 2?
That's the Force.
Yeah, 2 and 4.
Okay, I think 3 is mine.
2 and 4 because 4 was the tribute to Seven Samurai. And guys, if you didn't like 4, you don't like Seven Samurai and Magnificent 7 and
all those type of movies.
Check yourself. Like, do better. Because that literally was a love letter to the Seven Samurai. Like, that's literally the plot of Seven Samurai. Yeah. And but this one to me was the weakest. But that last nugget, and that's what Star Wars does. It's like, and then they give you this nugget, you're like, oh, and you fall.
Yeah, we're still on board for sure.
Yeah, I keep watching. But I need more Yobi.
Okay.
I don't necessarily just need him being a kid.
Oh, see, I'm good with that. I
don't need him just frolicking. And
but just based on age range, I feel like all he's gonna be is a kid for this series.
Yeah,
unless they go like.
But I mean,
decades.
Clearly he knows that he has something going on with himself. You know, he's aware. He's aware.
What 5-year-old is aware?
5-year-olds are aware of a lot of things. 7-year-olds are aware. He's 50.
Remember.
Shoot.
He's still a toddler.
He is still a toddler.
So every 10 is a 5.
He's aware.
Every 10 is a 1. So he's 5. So let's say he's 5. He's a toddler. And
very much aware. My 5-year-old cousin is aware of herself in terms of asking if she's the favorite of my mom's great nieces.
Yeah,
and like comparing herself to, they're very aware.
True, but he can't talk. So he's not even at the
How you gonna use the Force, but you don't understand?
It's like
because
using your hand.
It's just a part of it.
The Force is a part of it.
He's got all the midichlorians.
He needs to
if it's like I look at Baby Yoda like this. The Force to him is like an appendage. It's just
natural.
It's just natural.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that he's different than anybody else. He just knows that Mando has helped him, and he's going to help Mando, and that they're a team. And I am all for him walking down the ship.
And he likes soup.
And just walking around, just looking up at stuff.
Yeah.
When he came down that thing, I was like, I would die for you.
He looks different in every episode.
I was like, I would die for you. I was like,
I wonder if that's lighting and stuff with that, like the little baby thing.
You said you would die for Baby Yoda.
I was like, Baby Yoda, my life is yours.
Dying for Yogi. Yo, on that, we're gonna wrap up here. Let us know what you think of the episode. You guys any other major thoughts?
Yobi for life.
Just give him a little bit more. And I love how everybody is so confused when they see him. Like, what is this? Who is this? That.
It kind of makes you wonder
gender
just how
neutral
well.
child.
I guess to be fair, Yoda's race is pretty rare because we've only seen 2, so everybody's like they don't know what to make of this.
But they also are not. They're also not like shocked. Like they don't know what to make of it, but they're also like.
Well, there's different. There's different kinds of species.
And that's
walking around.
It's one of those things. It's like they're not like ew. But they're also, they're interested, but they're like, yeah, we get a little, flim flam, flam flam.
And wasn't Yoda? I mean, Yoda wasn't that dude that everybody would know.
Not really.
Not really. Jedi's know him.
Yeah, but everybody's
like, because remember, you kind of got it. We ain't got time, but you kind of got it with Rey in episode 7. Some people thought like the Jedis weren't real.
Yeah.
Like they thought it was a myth.
Yeah.
Like being a Jedi, some people don't believe it's real.
Well, because
they thought like, oh, these are just stories, things that I've heard.
Because if you remember, we heard about the Purge. If you remember, some of the lore of Star Wars was they were wiped out.
Right.
And if you remember in Episode 4, even Luke was like, "You fought in the Clone Wars?" It was like the Jedi, and he was like, "Yeah, that was a long time ago."
Yeah.
A lot has happened since then, and even now to this day. So perfect example. We were in the newsroom one day, and
Wrap this up, B.
We're based in Columbia, South Carolina. A trailer came out for Richard Jewell. There was a bombing at the Olympics in Atlanta. We literally had people who were like, "Wait, what?" So that's within our lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine 60 years ago there was these super soldiers or whoever, and they're no longer around. And you don't have the benefit of the internet, newspapers, or you just have holo feeds. And in the Outer Rim, none of those things got to them. So you don't even know they exist. And that's how I look at it. So
On that, we gotta go.
They should know who Yoda is.
Okay. Like, comment, subscribe on this video. You can find us here on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and WOTX.com. We out.
Like, look, all that was relevant, however, comma.